July 2nd, 2012, 12:54 p.m. I was on my way home running errands earlier, and I saw a large beige object on the side of the road in front of my neighborhood. I stopped and found out it was an old Gateway 2000 computer. I hadn't seen one of these since I was a little kid back in the early 90s, so I took it home to see if it even worked. Not that it would actually use it, though, as the technology was very outdated by today's standards. I was just curious to see what previous owner had done to it. And as I tinkered, I could always use some of the resistors or capacitors, assuming they still worked. After I found the right power cord, as there wasn't one when I first picked it up, I plugged it in and hooked it up to one of my spare monitors. I pressed the power button and listened to the loud whirring of the fans and hard drive as the computer booted up. The familiar Windows 95 logo showed up on the screen, but it seemed to just sit there for a little too long. I passed it off as the old technology and waited for it to finish loading. When the desktop finally pulled up, there was just a solid black background and only one icon in the middle of the screen. It wasn't the recycle bin, which I found weird, as it's impossible to take away. In newer versions of Windows, the icon was a video file called Feed.avi. I left it alone for the moment to search for the rest of the computer. I searched through the most common places, the C drive, documents, pictures, videos, etc. Most of what I found was common stuff, a few Word files, some blurry pictures I couldn't make out, and not much else. I decided to leave Feed.avi for later. July 3rd, 2012, 3:23 p.m. Wow, just wow. This is insane. After letting it sit for a day, I finally decided to watch Feed.avi. What I found was disturbing. The video started off nice and calm. A farmer was feeding his chickens. Nothing too out of the ordinary. As the video went on, it got darker, surprising, as it looked like it was just after dawn. Suddenly, at the edge of the screen, almost out of the shot, I saw a dark shape flash by. The cameraman obviously saw it too as he quickly turned the camera towards it and motioned for the farmer to look. At first it didn't appear again, but after about 20 seconds it flashed by again. I went back and paused the video. It was a dark-skinned and looked almost humanoid, but about the size of a greyhound. It was bent over on all fours, walking on its hands and toes. The farmer was really freaked out and said something to the cameraman in a language I didn't recognize. He handed the camera to the farmer. I could hear the man running away. The farmer kept watching as the thing darted back and forth between bushes and trees, inching closer every time. A minute later, I heard footsteps, and the other man came back with a pistol. He gave it to the farmer and took the camera back. The farmer aimed at the thing, and as it ran by, he shot at it. The thing stopped and stared at the two men, and the farmer looked visually shaken and was frozen in place by the thing's gaze. The thing ran full speed at the farmer and knocked him to the ground. Then it bent down and tore at his throat. The other man just stood there, watching as the thing ripped the farmer to shreds. Then, covered in blood, the thing looked right at the other man. But it seemed he was looking right at the camera, to the viewer. The camera fell, and I could hear the man's footsteps running away. The thing didn't run after him, but slowly approached the camera and looked right at the lens. Its face was an eerie mix between a human and a dog, and a black substance dripped from its mouth. It leaned in close to the camera, and almost sounded like it said, "I can see you, viewer. You're next." And the video ended. I was shaking by this time, and just sat staring at the screen for a few minutes. After I calmed down, I got up, unplugged the computer, and threw it into the dumpster down the road from my house. I wanted nothing to do with the video and the thing I saw. July 5th, 2012, 11:27 a.m. Yesterday ended up a little weird. I went to a 4th of July party with my friends. They were throwing and having a great time, grilling, catching up with each other, and shooting off some fireworks. Later that night, as we broke out the big mortars, I felt like I was being watched. And not just like a person in a window, but something more inhuman. I swear I saw a pair of eyes glittering in the trees nearby. I tried to ignore it and enjoyed the rest of the evening. The morning, though, I woke up to a tapping on my back window. I looked at the clock. It was 5:16 AM. Too early to be anything good. I tried to ignore it and went back to bed. But it just got louder and louder. After 5 minutes, it got quiet. Hopefully whatever it was, it went away. July 5th, 2012, 7:15 PM. Holy shit. During my lunch break today, I was sitting in an employee break room and saw a dark shape across the road. Remembering the thing from Feed.avi, I quickly ran back to my desk and sat there in fear for the rest of the day. July 5th, 2012, 11:43 PM. I fear that this may be the last update. The tapping is back, and it hasn't stopped for some time. After seeing the thing at work today, I now know what is outside. I fear that anything I try and attempt to stop it will be no use after seeing what its stare did to the farmer in the video. Now the tapping has turned into a loud banging. I'm surprised it hasn't broken through the window yet, but it's only a matter of time. Wait, I just heard something shatter.